Hi, and welcome to this quick tool review. This time around we have a very exciting tool, at least one that I'm really excited about. It was quite expensive, but every once in a while you got to splurge and get a really nice high quality tool. It's one, for one that you use often, which I do. I'll let you know what this is, but first I'll tell you the history. So it started with a Dremel tool way back when, and I'm sure you all know what those look like. Then I graduated to this guy, if you can call it a graduation. This one's fine. It's not great. You can have different hand pieces, but these wear out and has to be constantly lubricated because there's a lot of friction with the drive shaft. Already been through one of these, replaced them. It works fine. It's great for a light duty work. Then I got this guy. This is a Nakanishi die grinder, air powered, and it is really, really nice. I got it for a really good deal. Ultimately, it was free. I paid $200 for it. They said it was working, and the whole internal guts of the thing were seized up. So they gave me my money back, but didn't want the unit shipped back to them because they didn't want to pay for it. So I sent this to Nakanishi, and for almost $300, they rebuilt it from the ground up and replaced all the guts, and this thing runs good as new. Downside, my compressor can barely keep up with it, even at 15 cubic feet a minute. My compressor runs almost continuously when this guy is on, not quite. So by now you probably have a lot better idea of what this might be. This is in fact another Nakanishi. You've seen Stefan Gottswinter use one of these. In actuality, I think this is a different model than the one Stefan has. This is the Espert 500, and I got it because it's higher torque. This is the torque model, but on top of that, it's higher torque than the smaller handpiece. I have big hands anyways, so using a larger handpiece is not an inconvenience for me. In some ways, it's actually easier. So I slid the outside of the box off because, this being a Japanese product, packaging is very important. Japanese people are very much into complicated and very beautiful packaging, and this box is no exception, especially for an industrial tool. So there's the manual, and this is where I picked it up. They didn't keep it in stock. It was drop shipped from the manufacturer. So here is the power supply for the unit. This thing is quite heavy. It supports 2 hand pieces and goes up to 50,000 RPM. Power cord, handpiece stand, not quite sure. The rest of the handpiece stand or something? I'm not quite sure. This looks kind of like it would hold a handpiece, but not entirely sure. Yeah, it doesn't exactly go with this. Might have to actually look in the manual. That's sacrilege. Last but not least, the handpiece, also beautifully packaged. Comes with wrenches and collets. Looks like 2.35 millimeter. Oh, there's one in it as well. So this handpiece isn't all that large. Locking clamshells, and it looks like it has a collet already in it. Oh, and look at this. It's a quick release collet. You don't have to get a wrench to tighten it. It's locking. Oh, that's beautiful. This is for the foot control, which I did not get because I don't see myself needing it, but at some point in the future, if I want to get it, I can. Sort of expensive. Oh, I like they list the error codes on the bottom of the unit, so you don't have to go trying to dig up the manual in 3 years. Ah, there we go. That's for the handpiece, I'm guessing. So it's a testament to good design if things work the way you expect them to work, because that's the way things should be. Oh, that's really interesting. It rotates. Oh, I like that. I think I'm going to let it rotate. Okay. So there is an on-off, I believe. Yeah, on the hand piece itself, it's right down here. Boy, this thing, it's running right now. Even at slow speed, the torque is amazing. I can barely stop it. So that's 9,000 RPM. 27,000 RPM. There's 30. In order to go to 50, you have to go past the safety. I have to look in the manual. I can't remember what it is. It can also go reverse. I mean, it's a DC motor, so that's not hard for it. Ah, I found the safety. So now we're back to forward. There's 40, you push this in, go all the way up to 50. There's no vibration in this handle to speak of. It is completely smooth. All right, let's try putting an actual, I like the way it comes with a spacing rod in there. That's a nice touch. I wonder how the collets come out. I'll have to check that out. You probably, oh, you have to unscrew the collet. I see there's flats on it. So you must have to lock it and then unscrew it in some form. All right, let's see if we can put a carbide bit in here. So these are inexpensive carbide burrs. So I am guessing that you wouldn't want to run these at 50,000 RPM because you might have vibration issues, but let's just see. So let's put this thing on go. Oh, that's actually really well balanced. So there's 40,000 RPM. All right, well, I'm not the best handheld deburrer, but that actually did a nice clean job. Let's try a different tip. Boy, that's quick change. The other Nakanishi, you have to use a blocking pin and a wrench to get the bit to replace the bits, and it's slow going. Okay, let's try this guy. This is the one I usually run. This is about 17,000 RPM. Let's up it. Guess you can tell from this cut off scrap, this is 304 stainless. This did a much cleaner job. This is the typical burrs I use for deburring. It's kind of hard to do this floating up in the air. That's actually really nice. I don't know if you can see the focus on that. That cleaned up beautifully. That's pretty fantastic. All right, what about hogging out material? Because this is the high torque model. Again, I don't have a lot of experience with this, so if I'm about to do something stupid, forgive me. I'm just trying to see how well this works. And I don't know really what it's capable of. Huh. Maybe I want this in a vise. It's a pretty heavy burr. This thing takes out material like nothing I've ever used. It's so much more torque. I think this would be better in a vise. Now remember, this is 304 stainless too. The speed's barely changing, by the way, on the tachometer. You can see right there. This kind of crazy performance is probably why this was so expensive. That's absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you can see this, but I removed a lot of material, and this is stainless no less. You can see the divot that created in no time in 304 stainless. Very impressive, very controllable too. Well, that's really exciting. I think this thing is going to be great. I look forward to using it in upcoming projects. I'm sure you'll see it plenty because I deburr a lot of things. This is the bit I normally leave in here. That sits nicely. Or I could use the stand that came with it, which I'm guessing goes like this. Either one works really well. So I'm really excited about this. You should see this in upcoming projects. I'll learn a lot more about using it with better control. And the other Nakanishi I have doesn't fit 1/8 inch bits because I don't have the right collet, and I haven't been able to find the right collet. So this will let me use a whole bunch more bits than I've already got. Thanks for watching. Hope you find it useful. Hope to see you next time.